Hi, welcome back to Reading with Manny. I'm Manny and today I'm doing my August TBR by playing my TBR game. Also featuring my Magical Readathon TBR as well for the autumn Equinox semester thing. It's gonna be a mess. This video is gonna be a mess.
Hi, editing me here. Just to say that I actually forgot to explain what my game is. It's a Friends-inspired game in case you're new here. I'll leave the playlist linked somewhere so you can check out the first video and you can see the prompts and how the game works. But yeah, I did say this video was gonna be a mess.
I'm late because today is August the 2nd. I got sick last Friday. Today's Tuesday and it's the first day I've actually been able to get out of bed, so yay. So yes, I did film my roles for the game, like, I don't know, last week, the other week, I don't even know, and then I just couldn't film this part until today, so here we are, I guess. Let's talk about July first. Not that it has any influence on how the game is gonna go for August, because I don't do any punishments or rewards based on what I managed to read or not, but yeah. So I thought that in July I would have more time to read because I would be on holiday for half of the month. That did not happen. I only managed to finish 5 books. One of which was quite long though, so you'll hear more of my thoughts in my July wrap-up whenever I get around to filming that. But I did read 5 of the 8 books that I said I was gonna read. So I had to read Lady Susan for a free choice and I did not get to it, but I am hoping that I will manage. I did start it. I wanted to read this for the Jane Austen July read-along, readathon thing, and there was a read-along for Lady Susan, but yeah, I started it, didn't finish it. I'm hoping I will because it is short. I just need to settle down one night with it and just read it, but yes. Then I had to read a contemporary, and that's the one I'm currently in the middle of. I'm reading Saturday by Ian McEwan. I'm more than halfway done with this, so that would count as 6 maybe, because I did read most of it in July. Then I had to read a historical fiction, The Dance Tree by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. That's what I chose. I read that. Then I had to read another historical fiction that was, I had chosen All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I have not read this one, but I do want to get to it at some point, so it'll go back on the list. Then I had to read a horror. I chose Sundial by Katrina Ward. I read it. Awesome. Then I had to read a fantasy, and for that I had chosen Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I did read that one. Then I had to read a book over 400 pages, and I chose Ordinary Monsters, which is over 600 pages. But anyway, I did read that one. And the last book, I actually changed it. It was a book I'm most excited about, and I had originally chosen Bunny, but then I got a copy of The Leviathan by Rosie Andrews, and I read that one instead, so that counts. 5, almost 6 out of 8. It's not that bad. It's usually what I read in a month anyway. Okay, I did say that this video was gonna be a mess, so let's just get on with the rest of it. I am participating, like I said, in the Magical Readathon, so I need to continue on with my career, but I will talk about those books at the end, I think. I think I'm just gonna go over my roles first and talk about those books, and then see what I could fit for the Magical Readathon or not, and then we'll go from there. So, let's start with role number 1. All right. Token. Back to where we left off last time. Roll number 1. 3. 1, 2, 3. That is science fiction. So roll number 1, sci-fi. We have our cyborg Jane Eyre there. I have a lot of sci-fi for this month. So I am going to go with Upgrade by Blake Crouch. This would be my first Blake Crouch book, but I am super excited to read it, and it does fit an important prompt for the Magical Readathon, which I will talk about later, but yes, that's what I'm reading. I have no idea what it's about. All I know is that it's really, really hyped, and it's science fiction. I think it's something to do with DNA, but I'm not sure, and I honestly don't want to know that much anyway, so yes. As you'll see, I do have a lot of sci-fi for the Magical Readathon, so any of the other science fiction books I chose could have gone for this prompt, but yes, we're going with this one because I think that is one that I'm most likely to get to this month. Let's go with roll number 2. Roll number 2. That's a 2. 1, 2. That's a card. Let's see what we get. Buddy read. We're bracelet buddies. So, roll number 2. We're bracelet buddies. That's what they'll call us. That's a buddy read. And when we originally discussed this with my friend, we had chosen, I don't know why I'm doing this, we've chosen Briefly a Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. It's about this, what is happening with my hair? It's about this ghost, this girl who died in a monastery in like, I don't know what century, and then years later someone comes along and the ghost falls in love with them. Can't remember who it is now. I should have looked up the description of the book, the synopsis of the book before I started doing this, but it's too late now. But anyway, I don't think that we're actually going to read that, because today I saw that The Book Eaters by Sunji Dean, I think, came out and that book is about people who eat books, and that's all I really need, and I think that that's what we're gonna go for, because yeah, I remember reading the synopsis and going like, yes, this is what I want. So yeah, I can't really tell you much more than that. It's about people who eat books. Yeah, it's called The Book Eaters. That's pretty much it. Anyway, let's go on to roll number 3. Roll number 3. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another card. He's a trans monster, a book you know nothing about. Awesome. Now for roll number 3, I got another card, and that was He's a trans monster. This one was actually a suggestion from a viewer. I'll put whoever it was down here because I can't remember their channel name, but this was a great idea. So it's a book I know nothing about, and I am going to put Bunny in this one because I still don't know what Bunny is about, and I don't want to. So Bunny by Mona Awad. I didn't get to it last month. I think I'm gonna get to it this month, hopefully. All right, roll number 4. 4. 1, 2. That's another science fiction. Okay, so for roll number 4, I got another sci-fi. Now, like I said, there's a lot of sci-fi for the coming month, but I'm going to put here Adulthood Rights by Octavia E. Butler. This is the second in the Xenogenesis or Lilith's Brood, Yes. Series. I read the first one in June, and I really need to get to the second one before I, not that I would forget what happens, because I don't think you can forget those aliens, but yeah, I really want to keep on with the trilogy before, you know, it gets too far away from me. It's a second in a series, so I can't really tell you what it is about, but basically there's been like a extinction level nuclear war type of thing back on Earth, and the survivors were rescued by this alien race, and they are trying to get them back living on Earth. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, roll number 5. 1, 2, 3. That's, I can buy a book, I guess. Okay, roll number 5 actually landed me on the starting point again, which is weird, but that means I can buy a book, and I have already bought books. I have cheated. I actually bought books from Better World Books, what's it called? They basically sell a lot of secondhand books, and yeah, I bought quite a lot of them. Not that many. Maybe I'll do a book haul once they arrive, because it has taken them a month to get here. I don't have them yet, but I did get like a notification from my customs thing asking me to like declare them, even though they're books and they don't pay taxes or whatever. But yeah, Anyway, they should be here this week. So yeah, one of them is one that I hope to read for the Magical Readathon, so we'll get to it. All right, let's go with the actual row number 5 that actually gives me a book to read. Actual row number 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's horror, mystery, thriller. Now for that, I got horror. And fresh off the heels of reading Nettle and Bone last month, I thought I'd read T. Kingfisher's new book, that is What Moves the Dead. Am I saying that right? Yes. I thought I'd read What Moves the Dead, which came out last month, I think. It's a House of Usher retelling, as far as I know, and that's all I need to know, basically. I really enjoyed Nettle and Bone, and I can't wait to read a more like dark book by this author, I guess. I might have to reread the Fall of the House of Usher, because I haven't read that in a while. So yeah, I might do that. Also, I'm getting ahead of myself, but no, I'll get to it later. You'll have to keep watching to know what I was gonna say. Anyway, roll number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what we get. Said somewhere you've never been. I'm going to Yemen. All right, and the last roll was another card, and that was one of my favorites. I'm going to Yemen. You can't see this, can you? But anyway, yes, it says a book set somewhere you've never been. And I could go for so many books that are already on my TBR for the Magical Readathon, because again, lots of science fiction books, and yeah, I've never been to Mars. But I am actually going to put here, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it, but I'm actually going to put here The King of Infinite Space by Lindsay Fay. This is a Hamlet queer retelling set in New York. Again, all I need to know. Yeah, that's basically it. I've never been to New York. I will be later this year, but I haven't been there yet, so it counts. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's all I need to say about that book. Okay, so now let's get to the my syllabus for the Magical Readathon. Now, the career that I actually ended up completing all the prompts for back in April was Story Weaver. Can you see that? Yes, Story Weaver. I had to read 5 books or 4. I can't remember. 4, I think. Yeah, I had to read 4 books, and I really like the career. I think it fits really well with my personality. It's about weaving stories, I guess. And I'm also part of the Archivists Guild, so I think that also fits for some reason. But anyway, for this semester, I have to complete 6 books. I did take that into account back when I was choosing my career last time, because there are some careers that you need to read like 8, and I don't know if I can do this month. But anyway, let's go through the prompts. They are a lot of fun. You have grades for this one. I think it's a lot of fun too. And you need to get different grades for different subjects. So I need to get an O, which is ordinary, in inscription, and that is glyph recollection, and that is to read a book that was a childhood favorite. I didn't want to reread a book just for the sake of rereading. However, I have been working on a vlog from the beginning of the year in which I read my old favorite science fiction books from when I was a teenager that my dad had recommended to me and I used to love. And so for that, I have chosen to reread The Gods Themselves by Isaac Asimov. I don't remember what this is about. No, I'm lying. There's a twist that I seem to remember. There's aliens also, and there's like this, it's like the humans have discovered like a new energy source, but then there's something going on with it. I really loved this book. I only read it one time and I considered it one of my favorites, and I don't remember what happens in it, but I just remember that the twist was amazing, and I think I kind of remember it, but I don't know. Also, the dedication says, "To mankind and the hope that the war against folly may someday be won after all." No, my dear Isaac Asimov, I don't think it will. Now, this is a tiny book. It's almost 300 pages, but it is tiny, and the writing is quite big, so shouldn't take me long to get through it. So that is my O for Inscription. Next I have to get up to the D in lore. Yes, so that's up to Distinguished. So for the O, that is LDS Regional Anthropology, I have to read a book that has the colors of my country's flag in them. And for this I chose Upgrade. As you can see, it's blue and it has some white in it, and that's predominantly the colors of the Uruguayan flag, which I'll put up here in case you don't know it. It doesn't have yellow, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? So yeah, that's the one I want to go for. It's blue and white. That's it. Next, I had to get a Q, and that's Myth of Sildoris. I guess that's how you say it. And that is a story featuring a betrayal. Now, I don't know if a book will have a betrayal until I read it. I did ask Kim from Expedition Through Pages if Adulthood Rights had a betrayal in it, because she read it last month, I think. And so I asked her if it did, and she said that if you look for it, there is. So I might count Adulthood Right for this one. If not, we'll see what else comes up. But definitely, I think, The King of Infinite Space will have betrayal in it, because it's a Hamlet retelling, and there's a lot of betrayal going on in that book. So yes, I think that will be the one that counts for that. And then I have D, Distinguished, and that is Ancient Caves of Daerun, and that is a desert setting. Immediately I thought of Dune, which I have somewhere there, but I am not tackling Dune right now. However, there are many other science fiction books that have a desert setting, including The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. This is another of my favorites from when I was a teenager that I hope to reread. This is a collection of short stories based on like humanity's what's the word I'm looking for? Based on the humans colonizing Mars, basically. So at the beginning, I guess it's still a desert. I don't remember how much they build on Mars, but yes. This is also quite short and tiny. Look at this tiny, precious book. It's so cute. This is less than, 250 pages. Again, should be quite a quick read. I have read it before, not in ages though. But there is a story in this one. This is what I was going to say before. There is a story in this one that's called Usher 2, if I remember correctly. Yes, which is also like a retelling of the fall of the House of Usher. It all comes full circle, you see. Anyway, I hope to read all of these close together so that I can compare all of these stories. Anyway, so that's for lore, and then I have to get up to a Q, so up to qualified in psionics and divination. So first one is Time Theory 1, and that is to read a story featuring time travel. Again, I tried to look for science fiction books that had time travel, but then I remembered that I wanted to reread, there's going to be a lot of rereading this month. I wanted to reread The Kingdoms by Natasha Pulley. This should come as no surprise to you if you have seen any of my previous videos. I've been reading a lot of Natasha Pulley lately because she came out with a new book this year, and that, yes, I reread The Watchmaker of Filigree Street, and well, whatever. I want to reread The Kingdoms, which was my favorite book of last year, so I can do like a whole video on Natasha Pulley and why I love her so much, but I do want to keep this a bit, I do want to have this a bit fresher in my mind. And it is about time traveling. It's about the Napoleonic Wars, if Napoleon had won, and so Britain is invaded by the French, and I don't know how to explain this book, and I read it like a year ago, and I'm still thinking about it, and I wanted to reread it as soon as I finished it, so I think it's finally time. So I am going to be rereading this this month. And it has some travel. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. All right, and the last one is Time Theory 2, the Q. Yeah. So for that, I need to read a book with the same word in the title as my last read. So for that, I didn't want to go with the a simple route of like reading a book that has that seems like cheating. So I thought, what book do I have that fits that? And I am going to be reading The Martian by Andy Weir. As you can see, Martian. So yeah, that will be my first Andy Weir. I do want to get to Project Hail Mary by him as well. But yes, I am getting a copy of The Martian in that book haul that I did from Better World Books. So yes, hopefully that will be another physical book that I can read this month. And yeah, I don't know what The Martian is about. I know that there's a movie, but I have no idea. I think it's about a space mission to Mars, and then there's only one guy who survives and he's alone in Mars. Is that it? That's all I know. Would be interesting to see the movie afterwards, so yes. So it's quite an ambitious TBR for this month. I ended up putting more books than I have to for the Magical Readathon. But yes, we'll see what I get to in the month. Like I said, because some of these are quite short and rereads, all of these are rereads, I should be able to get through them quite quick. And there are others, some of these other books are also quite short as well, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I am not going to stress out about completing the Magical Readathon in August, because August is very, very busy month for me. I have a lot of midterm evaluations to correct, and then a lot of reports to write and teacher meetings, and yeah, my reading time is going to go significantly down in August, possibly. So yes, if I don't get to any of these books, they can just roll over into September. G has said it's fine. So yes. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for me. This has been very chaotic, at least for me. I don't know how I'm gonna feel editing it. If I forgot to say anything, I'll just put it on text right here or something. Let's talk in the comments about what are your plans for August, and if you're participating in the Magical Readathon, if you have read any of these books and what you think. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't and if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, happy reading!